Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you can see, I don't have my curtains yet. They should arrive yesterday and they actually did, but I managed not to change my address at my Amazon account, so they will get delivered to my old address. So I have to drive there today and pick it up from my neighbors. Hopefully they are home, and also go to the post station for another package which was delivered there to my old address. Other than that, today we will install all the lightings. I already built together this ring light, which is actually like a beauty light, but because I don't need it, I use it as a fill light. It's actually a quite easy way, if you want to make a lighting for your videos, to just film through this ring light. Maybe I can show you right now like this. This is kind of the typical beauty shot ring light stuff, and you can see that also in the eyes. It's a really cool effect, but I don't use that for my videos. I use three-point lighting with this light is just going indirectly to the white walls, and in the end it will fill this side of my face. This side will be actually this soft box. So I'm sitting here. There you have the ring light as a fill light, and there you have the softbox later, a little bit adjusted of course. Then the third point of lighting will be here up there, the headlight, which will give a little bit structure to my head, which is actually a quite usual studio lighting setup. If you are in a professional studio, you will probably have a little bit more options for the lighting, but for me that's the easiest way to produce a reproducible lighting, so that my videos look kind of the same and I don't have to think too much about my lighting setup every time when I post a new video. Maybe this is interesting for you to know this three-point lighting setup. It's like main light, this is the brightest one, this is adjustable, I turn it down quite low. For the fill light, it's actually looking like right now from the window, it's right here. It's bright. Here's a little bit of fill light because it gets reflected from the white walls. And then additionally, the headlight will make a little bit of a holy light above my head. So I just drove through the city to the post office where my package with my curtains should be, but actually, they told me I can catch them tomorrow, so I have to go tomorrow there, which is quite annoying. So today the light in my room is quite much. There's not to think about studio production for now, and also it's very, very hot. It's like over 30 degrees Celsius here. So there was a question after my last vlog I posted where I played some scales. So I wanted to show you the fingerings for a 3-octave scale. It is actually very useful to start with a 3-octave scale not too late in your violinistic career, because this fingering which you can practice for this 3-octave scale is the same for close to every tonality on the violin. You can play this fingering with a major or minor tonality, that doesn't matter so much. There are two things which are quite important when we talk about this 3-octave scale. One is we have to add some additional notes, so this scale can be divided into groups of 4 and groups of 3 as well. This is quite useful when you want to experiment with different rhythms, like you go from triplets to 16th notes or something. I play it for you right now. First shift, second shift, third shift. And now we play 4/4. So the whole scale. I will put a sheet music in the context right here, where you can see all the fingerings. The thing with this 3-octave scale is that I do a different fingering up than I do down. With the fingerings, there are different variations. Some teachers are the same up, the same down. go from second finger to first finger or go from third finger to first finger. That doesn't matter too much. I give you now a fingering which works for me. If you want to change or play with a different fingering, that's also viable. Of course, you have to be able to play different fingerings in repertoire, because sometimes if you want to go in triplets, it's good not to go 1 2 1 2 1 2, but 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Because it fits more the rhythm of the music. So I don't practice that in scales upwards, but downwards. When I go down, it's again 4/4. And now after the first finger, I play the third finger. And then after the first finger, I play again the third finger. When we go down, we have just 2 position changes, because we go over the third finger. We go from the first to the third, from the first to the third. What Amanda in the last video comment section mentioned is a very interesting thing. She told me that going down is more difficult for her. I can tell you that's the same for me too. It's 2 reasons with my kind of 3 octave scales. One reason is that I have bigger shifts from 1 to 3 instead of from 1 to 2, 1, 2. But also the going down on the violin tends to be harder. I don't want to analyze now why that is. It's just that you have to know that it's harder to go down. When you have to practice a scale up and down, I recommend to you, for every repetition you do upwards, you do 2 repetitions of the same scale downwards. That way we can kind of even out the skill we have when playing up and playing down, because playing down is actually quite a bit more difficult than playing up. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, when we play downward, in the end we make it a little bit so that again it fits into the triplet form and the form of 16th notes. So we can divide the scale through 4 to 8 and 6 and 12 and so on. That is actually quite useful if you speed up the tempo and you want to continue the same bow speed. Let me once play you the whole scale. I will lift my fingers higher than usual. Usually you want to play with your fingers close to the string. I just want to make it very obvious for you which finger I play. And then you can start all over again. The good thing about this fingering is we were now in B flat major. When we now want to play a different tonality, like let's say an easy one which is quite close to this one is the B major. We just put the second finger on the B and we play from there. Exactly the same fingering, exactly the same distances, not really, but quite the distances when it is a whole step or a small step stay the same. And now the interesting part is we can move this fingering and this finger succession over the fingerboard. So I can also now go to the C with the second finger in the second position and do the same, and I have a C major scale through 3 octaves. So that's the concept of 3 octave scales. The systems differ from teacher to teacher a little bit. I had also teachers who offered me a different system, but that's the system I find the most easy for me. Also, you have to just choose one and practice it over and over again. The routine is the key. You don't have to do every variation every time. It's better to do one variation and that every time. I just wanted to clarify that because I cannot really give you an update about my studio, because I still have to not wait for my curtains, but to catch my curtains at the post office, because I forgot to change my address before I ordered the curtains with Amazon, and they get delivered to my old address, so I have now a little bit of trouble getting them from the post office, and from my old neighbors actually received one package. So see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoy the content. I will now do a little bit of testing of my mobile app, the electric tuner. We just fiddled around a little bit with the adjustments so that it's quite directly, and also the notes will be recognized correctly and fast. That's what I'm working on right now. I did my scales today, I did a little bit of practice today, but I tell you, in this room it's so hot. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.